Okay, week 3 is all over. We had Monday the 2nd of May through the 6th. Now, Monday was actually a bank holiday, so didn't get to go to classes that day. But Tuesday we did, and we started out with Lou's class. Robert and I presented the gentleman's clothing of the era. Nothing really to report. Did a good job. I think it turned out okay. And then we went into Francois' class. Again, nothing really to report. Same old stuff from her. Then we went into Rob's singing class, and I got to sing Mad World, which is my new song that I've chosen for each of my singing classes. I think it turned out pretty good. He gave me some nice pointers. He wanted me to have a very clear distinction between the first verse and the second verse. So what I'm doing is in the first verse is being much more powerful with my voice, and the second one I'm bringing it down to soft fold. He also wants me to start like the very first word to be more strong. So whereas when I was starting it before, I was going, all around me are familiar faces. And so what he wants me to do is, all around me are familiar faces. Very distinctive difference. That first one almost sounded like I had an H at the front of it, so it would be hall around me, which that's not good. So, and then we moved into the second class with Rob, which is our ensemble singing. And I'm sorry to say, but we've kind of upset him a little bit. The entire group has, really, because none of us are putting a priority on his class. He's given us extra work that we didn't have before that we don't have time for, really. I mean, he wants us to memorize all of these songs for his class, and he's given us like 6 songs already, and nobody's memorized on it, or at least most of the people aren't. And so we're not putting an emphasis on his class. We're not giving him priority, which, considering we're not being graded in his class, and this isn't a musical theater program, I would hope that's understandable. But the guy was not happy when he left the class. Then we moved into Phillida's class, and we were working on both Irish and RP, which is interesting to switch back and forth between the two of them. It's kind of difficult sometimes to be able to just immediately do RP and then immediately do Irish. But I think I can do it pretty well. Irish is one that I've been doing for a long time. Even if it's not 100% correct, it's still one that I've been doing pretty easily. And then RP we've been working on really hard, and I've gotten pretty good at it, so I'm not too worried about that. On Wednesday we got our feedback from Rod on our ELRs, and I don't understand entirely why I'm getting some of this feedback that I'm getting, because some of the things that he wants me to put in there I've already put in there. For example, one of the things that he said was that I needed to focus on the director's perspective as well as the actor's perspective, and I've done that. One of the books that I've read and put in the ELR is a book on Joss Whedon, a director, not an actor. So I don't know. That's all we did in his class, and then we moved into Alex's class, and Emily and I finally got to present our scene, which was really good. Turned out nice. Alex gave us some great tips and tricks on how to make it a little bit better. But I think on the whole, it turned out really well. This term, I feel so much more like myself than I have the other 2 terms that I was here. I was relaxed. I knew my lines. I didn't have to call line at all, neither did Emily. And that's saying something for me, considering how many monologues I had. I gave my character very specific stillness at certain points, and I think that came across well. So some of the notes that Alex gave us are, where's the turning point in the scene? We have to have a turning point. We both have to know when it is, and we have to make a very clear change in our objective, tactic, motivation, all that kind of stuff. And then he also told us that throughout this entire scene, they're both revealing small things over time, but covering up most of what they're actually feeling. And so we need to be revealing things slowly over time. The next thing I need to know is, what is my super objective? And I have to have that in my mind throughout the entire scene. Another thing that he said was, how am I supposed to behave with this person that I barely know? And basically, I'm walking on eggshells the entire time. And then he also asked me what I thought my character's motivation with the character that we're talking about actually was. And I said that he's more of a father figure than a lover. And I gave specific examples from the text on that, and I think it came across pretty well that way. Alex also came up with a few. I think that class turned out pretty well. And then we moved into our work with the Veil. I'm loving the process of the Veil, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about all 3 days at this point. Basically, what Simon's had us do is we've done page 1 through 38, I believe it is, off book by Friday. So we ran the scene a couple of times Wednesday, a couple of times Thursday, and then completely off book Friday. And everybody is off book for those times. I mean, everybody's, well, maybe not everybody, but most of the people are calling line every now and then. But we're off book, and that allows us to play a little bit more and to do more things. But he allowed us to take our time to get off book with those. We had a couple of days to do the scenes in class, which is the way I personally work best, by doing the scenes a few times, and then I get off book with it. And it's helped me immensely. What's funny is I was actually off book on Thursday. I did it on book on Wednesday, but then Thursday I was off book. I didn't need it. It was awesome. Whereas a lot of the other people didn't get off book until Friday. So I'm proud of myself for that one. I'm not saying that they did anything wrong. They were supposed to be off book Friday. They were off book Friday. I'm just saying that I was proud of myself for being off book Thursday. The thing is, the more I work a scene with my partner, the easier it is for me to get off book. I don't have to do a whole lot of line learning, just repetitive task at home when I've worked the scene with my partner. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about for the week was Simon's class, Simon Ratcliffe's class. We have two Simons now, our director Simon and then Simon Ratcliffe, our voice coach. So we had Simon Ratcliffe's class on Thursday. We usually had him on Fridays. We used to have him on Fridays, but because this director lives so far away, we moved our long day from Thursday to Friday. So, yeah. So Simon Ratcliffe's class, we started out with our usual voice work, and then we each have a monologue to present. And I did mine. I mean, I called mine a few times, but I did it. And then Simon wanted me to do some line work on it. What he wants me to do is find the short vowels and the long vowels and actually do like a hand motion for short vowel and then long vowel. And do the entire monologue that way. And so I start stressing the longer vowels over the shorter vowels and things like that. Pretty easy. I don't understand that one yet, but maybe after doing it, I will get something from it. I don't know. We'll find out. So yeah, that's my week. Thanks for watching.